Right here in the one and only Plainville, Kansas, we are about to get you all set and ready for some Friday Night Lights tonight with a matchup consisting of the Plainville Cardinals and the Syracuse Bulldogs. I am Jackson Webb, and I thank you for watching Cardinal football on the Bird's Eye View. Folks, we have a pretty chilly and overcasted evening tonight for some football with kickoff temperatures slated to be 39 degrees, but if there's anyone out there that can handle this, it's definitely the boys of fall. Last Friday night served to be a successful point of the season for both of these teams. The Syracuse Bulldogs picked up not only their first win of the season last week, but a huge victory in terms of the district standings after defeating Stanton County 28-0. Coach Dwight Green's squad did a great job controlling the ball game by wearing down the defense and pitching a shutout defensively. The Plainville Cardinals, led by Coach Grant Stevenson, also got their first win of the season last week on the road against the Ellis Railroaders. Coach Stevenson had his bunch well prepared, and when crunch time came, the Cardinals answered the call. Plainville went on to win last week's game 30-25. The best part was Ellis is a team that really likes to spread teams out and use both the pass and the run, but the Cardinal defense only gave up 8 completed passes and were able to snag an interception and force 1 fumble. Tonight's matchup is really shaping up to be a good one, and you won't want to miss it. When we come back, we'll catch you up on some other games happening around the area tonight and talk about tonight's keys to the game.
Hey Cardinal fans, this is your coach Grant Stevenson. Thank you very much for supporting us on the Bird's Eye View Network. Hey Cardinal fans, this is your coach Grant Stevenson. Thank you very much for supporting us on the Bird's Eye View Network.
Folks, back here in Plainville, and right after the performance of the national anthem, we'll get you caught up on who's playing who tonight, as well as tonight's keys to the game. Well, a very nice job right there by the kiddos singing the Star Spangled Banner. And, man, if that doesn't get you ready for some high school football, I do not know what will. So we'll take a quick look at some other games happening around the area for tonight. First, we'll start with Plainville's next week opponent, the Stanton County Trojans. The Trojans tonight actually have a bye week, so they will not be playing anybody, so that might be good for the Cardinals to catch them next week. Not playing anybody this week, so they might be a little bit rusty come next week. For the Oakley Plainsmen, they are playing the Ellis Railroaders at home tonight. For the Norton Blue Jays, Norton actually coming off last week's loss in overtime to Goodland. They'll play Beloit tonight, so very tough matchup right there for the Norton Blue Jays, who sit at 4-1 so far this season. Jay Harris and the TMP Monarchs are at Phillipsburg tonight, up the road just a little ways from us. And the Russell Broncos. The Broncos right now 3-2, led by head coach Christian Azores. They are playing Ellsworth tonight, so another good matchup there. And last but not least, the Smith Center Redmen take on Republic County. So those are some other area games. You guys, if you're not too busy at home, you guys can take a look at those scores, see how the rest of the Mid-Continent League is doing as we're approaching kind of crunch time. And we talk about districts, playoffs. The Plainville Cardinals are sitting really well right now after last week's victory against the Ellis Railroaders. They'll have the head-to-head against them if there is just a two-way tie. But right now your district standings look a little bit like this. Syracuse and Oakley sit as the top teams in the district right now as they're 1-0 in district play. Ellis is 1-1 in district play at the 3 spot. Our Plainville Cardinals are the 4th spot right now, 1-1, and Stanton County sits in last, 5th place at 0-2. So the captains are out there for the coin toss. So as the away team, Syracuse has deferred. After winning the toss, they'll defer to the second half. And the Plainville Cardinals will receive the football to start this one. Just moments before the first opening kickoff. But for the folks at home tonight, if you're watching, you definitely want to keep an eye on the Plainville Cardinal offense, as last week really served to be the best week that they've played offensively, putting up 30 points in last week's victory on the road against the Ellis Railroaders. For Syracuse, they also won last week, so look for them. You know, they're on the road. It's a tough environment. They traveled 3.5 hours to be here in Plainville tonight to play the Cardinals, so maybe some fatigue might settle in. You know, they've been sitting on a bus for a while, but last year, the Plainville Cardinals 6-4, the Syracuse Bulldogs 1-8. So Plainville a little bit better of a year last year than Syracuse, but Syracuse is trying to turn the corner, and they got that first win under their belt. They are definitely going to be a good opponent for the Plainville Cardinals this evening. Some keys to the game, as always, you want to take care of the ball, and tonight that might be a tough task because there's been some rain on and off today. The field conditions are a little bit wet, so don't be surprised if you see the ball on the turf a little bit, and the pass game might be a little bit tough tonight. Also, you want to get your offense rolling early. You want to get that run game established. Look for Plainville to do so with their first possession here tonight. And also, last but not least, you want to limit the penalties. But here we are for week number 6 of the Kansas High School State football season as Carter Selmer with the return. He's got a good one. He's got a couple blocks. He breaks past the Syracuse return or the kickoff team, and man, how about that? Not a better way to start. Carter Selmer takes it to the house, and 13 seconds in, Plainville has scored, but this one might be coming back. So not the way the Plainville Cardinals wanted to start in terms of the penalties, something we just got through talking about is, you know, in order to win a game, you got to be super sound, whether that be offense, defense, special teams as well, but you got to win the penalty battle in a good way. And right there, you really just wiped 6 points off the board, maybe 7 or 8, as Plainville will start their first drive on their own 35 after the penalty. So Syracuse a little bit short-handed. They're a couple guys out, a couple guys injured, a couple guys did not travel tonight for the Syracuse Bulldogs. They're a really thin, young team, but they play with a lot of grit and a lot of fight, as the first carry for the Plainville Cardinal offense seems to be a good one. A.J. Brown, the quarterback, will flip the field, go from the 35 up to the Syracuse Bulldog 31, and how about that run by the quarterback? So a gain of Be a gain of 34 yards. A toss sweep to Selmer here on 1st down and 10 will be a good one. He's wrapped up on that Syracuse sideline, but not until after a gain of about 4 yards. So good job offensively by the Plainville Cardinal offense, starting the run game early, asserting that dominance up front. That's something that Coach Grant Stevenson wanted to continue off of last week. It was a great performance last week against the Ellis Railroaders, and now the Plainville Cardinals will sit 2nd and 5 at the Bulldog 27. Motion from right to left here. A.J. Brown will give it to the fullback, who's kind of bottled up in the backfield and swung down, as Drayden Puckett really had nowhere to go there. So a good stop there by the Syracuse defense. So some decision-making here on 3rd down and 7 for Coach Grant Stevenson and their offensive play call. We haven't seen a pass yet. It might be a tough night to pass, but we shall see what the Cardinals elect to do here. On 3rd down and 7, the 4th play of the drive, they'll go back to A.J. Brown. He's wrapped up, number 10 right there, Braden Southern with a good tackle. So they get it all marked. The ball will be in between the 29 and the 30, or excuse me, the 24 and the 25. It'll bring up 4th down and 4. So the drive was looking great to start. You got a 34-yard run by A.J. Brown, and we'll see what they do here on 4th and 4. The Plainville Cardinal offense under center. They option right, and, man, there's a lot of greenery to roam. A.J. Brown's going to take it to the house. An early touchdown for the Plainville Cardinals. That's the way to do it, as Plainville had a kickoff return on the opening kickoff negated by a penalty. It doesn't faze them. It doesn't matter. Coach Grant Stevenson's offense marches right down the field, and quickly in 5 plays, they get the first score in tonight's ball game, all thanks to an A.J. Brown 24-yard option run out to the right. PAT, there's no doubt about it. That one's good, as Plainville goes up 7-0 in the early going. This drive, 5 plays, capped off by a 24-yard touchdown run by the Plainville Cardinal quarterback, A.J. Brown. And we'll see what the Syracuse Bulldogs can do on their first drive. This one will start with 9:17 left to play here in this first quarter. You're watching Plainville Cardinal football on the Bird's Eye View. So if you're just joining us, you missed a little bit of action as the Plainville Cardinals got on the board early in this one. It took them only about 3 minutes to do so. 7 points for the Plainville Cardinal offense, all thanks to a 24-yard run by the quarterback from 24 yards out. And what a touchdown that was by A.J. Brown. And the Plainville Cardinal defense will be set out there for their first defensive possession here in this one. So Syracuse set with their first offensive possession. They'll start at their own 24-yard line. First play from scrimmage for the Syracuse Bulldogs will be a run, and that one's going to go nowhere positive. Only way to go was backwards, a loss of about 7 yards. And, man, a good start for the Plainville Cardinal defense right there.
Getting on the tackling there for the Cardinals.
So Syracuse in their white tops, black pants, nice black helmets with the orange face mask. The Plainville Cardinals wearing their traditional black home uniforms, all black with the Cardinal red helmets. Can't beat that look. Here goes Syracuse on second down and long. A swing pass out to the left side, bottled up. Great job by the corner out there, making a nice play in the open space.
For little to no gain, Carter Selmer on a nice tackle there for the Cardinals. Going to bring on third and long now for Syracuse.
Be third and long, and we credit the tackle right there to Carter Selmer, who actually took the opening kickoff back for a touchdown, but that one was X'd out, all thanks to a penalty flag on Plainville's side. But third down and long for Coach Dwight Green, and this is kind of a spot that you don't want to be in, especially to start the game. Your first offensive possession, you want to stay in between the chains, move the chains for a first down, but they'll go here with trips right, one receiver to the near side, and that will be a flag. I believe they'll catch Syracuse for a false start. And it will be. Syracuse went with a hard count, trying to get Plainville to jump to make it from 3rd and 17 to 3rd and 12, but instead they'll back it on up, and it'll be 3rd down and 22. Here goes the quarterback rolling out, but there's nowhere to throw it as his receiver was crossing the middle and a little bit wide. That one falls incomplete, and Syracuse, after a penalty, will be faced with a 3-and-out as the punt team comes on for the Bulldogs. Great start defensively as well as offensively for the Plainville Cardinals. They get a score in 5 plays and then turn around defensively and force a 3-and-out. And the drive for the Syracuse Bulldogs lasted all of about 2 minutes and 27 seconds. So another penalty backs up the Bulldogs even more, 4th down and 27. And the return man for the Cardinals is standing on the Syracuse 40-yard line. This one takes a bounce at about the 30, hops out of bounds at the 35-yard line. And Plainville will start their second drive with outstanding field position.
At the 36-yard line, where the Cardinals will take over 1st and 10.
So we'll catch Plainville Cardinals in their second drive offensively with 7:12 left to go in this first quarter right after this. So actually, as we resume, there was actually another penalty. This one was on the Plainville Cardinals, so Syracuse has their punt team back out there, try and get a little bit better of a leg on it on this one. The snap is good. The punt's away, but it's not nearly as good as the last one, and Plainville will have even better field position after the penalty and the repunt, and Plainville will start on the 25-yard line. So you couldn't ask for better field position right there for the Plainville Cardinals to start their second drive after forcing a 3-and-out against the Syracuse offense. A.J. Brown with the quarterback keeper here. He follows the fullback up the middle, and the defense was ripping out that ball, but A.J. did a good job of holding that thing and not letting it get loose as Caden Upson was there on the tackle for the Syracuse defense.
Bring up 2nd and 10 now for Plainville.
Plainville Cardinals will use motion here on 2nd down. Selmer takes the jet sweep off to the right side. He's staying in bounds, makes a move, and is down inside the 10-yard line. Inside the 5, it'll be a 1st and goal from about the 3-yard line for the Plainville Cardinals.
First down.
Really having their way with the Syracuse defense. Really everything that Plainville has drawn up tonight has worked so far here in this first quarter. And the offense is looking pretty scary, about to get their 2nd score here in the first quarter. Trying to make a couple Bulldogs miss. He's not able to.
Cardinals for about a 4-yard gain. Gomez on the tackling there for Syracuse.
Madden Staub really didn't have anywhere to roll out there on that left side, but Plainville still sitting in good position. 2nd down and 5, or 2nd down and goal, excuse me, from the 5. So knocking on the door of that goal line. A.J. Brown under center here on 2nd and goal. He'll take it on the left side. It's kind of bottled up. The Bulldogs doing a good job of having all those hats on the football. And it'll force a 3rd down and 5. Aguilar on the tackle for the Bulldogs. So 3 plays for no gain on this short 4-play drive, but it started on the 24 and a 15-yard run by Carter Selmer. Has the Cardinals with 3rd down and goal. Two wide receivers to the right. A.J. Brown's going to roll out here. It's going to be a quarterback keeper. He makes a couple Bulldogs miss. Is he in? It looks like he is. Touchdown for the Plainville Cardinals. Their 2nd of the evening, as well as A.J. Brown's 2nd of the evening, this time from 5 yards out, as the Plainville Cardinals go up 13-0. So A.J. Brown is really a man on a mission tonight for the Plainville Cardinal offense. 2 touchdowns already, and we're not even 8 minutes into this one, as there is a penalty before the snap. It'll go on the Syracuse Bulldogs and nudge up the PAT about a yard, yard and a half, and make it even easier for Braylon Biddle to knock this one through to put Plainville up 14-0. After they get this close, Coach Grant Stevenson kind of rechanges his mind. It looks like they're going to go for 2 here. You might see a quarterback sneak here by A.J. Brown. You do indeed. Right, full steam ahead. And it looks like he's in, and Plainville goes up now 15-0. So the choice not to kick the PAT serves to be a good one, and Plainville is up in front of this hometown crowd, 15-0 over the Syracuse Bulldogs. We'll step aside here from Cardinal Field. You're watching Plainville football on the Bird's Eye View.
Plainville High School football fans, this is Jared Casey. The Cardinals thank you for your support. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this broadcast on the Bird's Eye View Network.
Nice little message there from Jared Casey, number 47 in the crimson and blue for the KU Jayhawks. Once was a Plainville Cardinal, but man, he's making the community proud as Jared Casey and the Jayhawks are really looking good so far this year. You can catch them tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., the ESPN College Game Day Game of the Week in Lawrence, Kansas. And, man, it's going to be a good one against the visiting TCU Horned Frogs. That one, like we said, at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. So get up, get you some coffee, get you some breakfast, and watch those Kansas Jayhawks. Jayhawks 5-0 after defeating Iowa State last week. K-State off to a really good start as well this year. Their only loss coming to Tulane. And how about that? Coach Chris Kleiman and the Wildcats defeating OU in Norman. It's kind of been the highlight of their season so far. So both teams looking pretty good. We'll talk about Fort Hays and their matchup here in a little bit. But as we resume, the Plainville Cardinals up 15-0 with 4:36 left to play here in this first quarter. The ball is teed up. Get one more substitution by the Syracuse Bulldogs, and we are ready to kick this one back off. As Syracuse, their offense, just 3 plays and a net of -7 yards. 2 penalties to go along with that as well. But this kickoff taken by number 11, Juan Pinion.
Juan Pinion on the return for the Syracuse Bulldogs.
Good coverage there by the Plainville kickoff unit. Get down there, make a nice tackle, and Syracuse will start their second offensive possession from their own 20-yard line.
We'd like to remind everybody the fifth quarter party for all high school students following the game in the Cardinal Gym in the conference area.
It's really nice tonight. The rain's kind of holding off. I hope I don't jinx it, but the temperature currently right now in Plainville is 39 degrees. Got a slight wind coming out of the west, and it looks like the rain's going to stay away, so fingers crossed on that, as everything's been looking pretty good so far here for the Cardinals at Cardinal Field. So a run on first down by the Syracuse Bulldogs, and their first positive play from scrimmage is good enough for about a gain of 4 yards. Spraylon Biddle makes a nice tackle there for the Cardinal defense.
Second and 7 now for the Bulldogs.
So we've seen one pass for the Syracuse Bulldog offense. That one, unfortunately, incomplete for the Bulldogs, just a little bit off the mark. But the run game is looking all right, as it started with a 3-yard carry on first down. Quarterback and 2 running backs in the backfield here on second down, and he's met in the backfield by about 3 Cardinals. There's nowhere to go. Great job by that defensive front of breaking through the line. So that'll back the line of scrimmage up back about a yard and make it 3rd down and 8 for Syracuse deep in their own territory. We'll get our first time out of the evening. This one taken by the Syracuse Bulldogs and head coach Dwight Green over there on that Bulldog sideline. Cardinals are amped up, and I hope you fans at home are too. We're going to step aside here from Cardinal Field and be back with more Friday Night Lights right after this.
This is Coach Stevenson of your Plainville Cardinals. Don't move a muscle. There's more Friday Night Football coming your way in just a moment.
So out of the timeout, we're all set and ready for a Syracuse Bulldogs 3rd down and 8 from their own 22. We get another penalty flag here, and that's kind of been the theme of this first quarter. The officials will get together and settle things out. Had to have been obvious as there was 2 penalty flags thrown by both the side judges. The White Hat has the call. It'll be offsides on the Plainville Cardinal defense. So a little bit of positive right there by Syracuse right out of the timeout. Probably something that they drew up and talked about going on to and get the Plainville Cardinals to jump a little bit early. They do so as we approach 3 minutes left to go here in this first quarter. Syracuse seeking their first down of the evening. So trips right, 4 wide receivers in total. The quarterback's going to roll out. Thought he was going to pass, but instead he's stuffed at the line and maybe even 1 or 2 yards behind it, as it looked like it was going to be a pass to start, but Juan Pinion really had nowhere to go, and that's going to issue another punt by the Syracuse Bulldogs.
You name it, they were there.
So this drive by the Syracuse Bulldogs started with 4 minutes and 26 seconds. They started at their own 20. They nudged up about 7 yards, give or take the penalties that happened. They got a 3-yard carry on first down and then went back a couple yards, got bumped forward thanks to the penalty, but on third down, a sack in the backfield, and now the punt. So Plainville will start with good field position yet again. We got a great return. He's still not down, bumping into a couple Cardinals on the way. Still on his feet, going all the way up to about the 20-yard line. An excellent field position again for the Plainville Cardinals. This will be their 3rd drive of the evening, 2 of the 3 in which have started in Syracuse Bulldog territory.
Edgar Hernandez on the tackle for Syracuse.
So Coach Grant Stevenson has to be extremely pleased with his bunch tonight so far. The kick return, punt return unit has been phenomenal, getting some good extra yardage to start the offense in a good spot. And here we go. We'll have a whistle before the first play on the new set of downs for Plainville. And we'll have to have a player come off, maybe an equipment issue, as it looks like it was number 22, Brian Garver, that came off. And going in his place is Noah Brewster. So they reset 1st down and 10 for the Plainville Cardinal offense. Motion here, we'll get our first pass. A.J. Brown's got a man, but it seemed like Brewster stopped running as there was an opening down that left hash mark, or that left hash line right up the seam, and it was wide open. You can definitely believe that the Plainville Cardinals are going to go back to the pass game if the Bulldogs can't figure out their issues in the defensive backfield. Man, super wide open, and those are the ones that you wish you could have back, as Brewster went in there after being subbed in, had a wide open lane. It was going to be a walk-in touchdown. A.J. Brown with a beautiful ball, just a little bit out in front of Brewster, but we'll reset and have 2nd down and 10. Motion from left to right, a toss sweep this time by the Cardinals. There'll be a flag in the backfield as ball carriers still on their feet. It would set them up with a 1st down and goal, but I believe this one's going to come back and might be a holding thrown on that far side of the field, and those kind of deflate the air balloon that was really floating for the Plainville Cardinals.
Holding called against the Cardinals.
So after the holding call, it'll back Plainville up. It'll be 2nd down from their own, or the opposing 30-yard line, and this might be a good time to air it out. Motion here, and they will indeed. A.J. Brown rolls left, a screen pass right through the hands of his intended receiver, and man, if he catches that one, he's only got to pick up one more block, and that ball is housed. The intended receiver was number 20, Madden Staub. He had 3 linemen out in front of him and the biggest guys on the field to pave the way for him, and all he needed was to escape one Syracuse Bulldog, and he could have taken it up the sideline for an easy touchdown. But the Cardinals might go back to the pass game here on 3rd down and long. Motion here by the Cardinals. They'll pass, so they'll look right side. A.J. Brown decides to tuck it and run. It's a good choice. Stiff arms 2 Bulldogs, tramples over another. A good run right there by A.J. Brown. And this has definitely got to be 4-down territory, don't you think?
On the tackle for Syracuse.
And not good news is A.J. Brown's going to come to the sideline holding that right hand. I don't know if he fell on it or if it was trying to stiff arm a couple guys and he might have pinched it somewhere, but A.J. Brown is now off. We'll have a new quarterback into the ball game for the Cardinals. So take a timeout, a little bit to check on A.J. Brown as well as to give the quarterback a chance to catch his breath and get composed and get ready for this 4th down and 4. We'll see if the Cardinals can convert when we come back. So instead of going for it on 4th down and 4, the Plainville Cardinals will elect to kick the field goal here. This one will be from 31 yards out. Actually, they'll run a fake around the right side. This one tossed and dropped incomplete a little bit behind the receiver. It was a good look at it. Man, if he leads them on that pass, it might be a touchdown and for sure would have been a 1st down. But Syracuse, the Bulldogs with their first stop defensively tonight, and that's got to be a positive over there for Dwight Green and his squad. So this next play will be the first one of the 3rd offensive drive for the Syracuse Bulldogs. And, man, they are really embedded in their own territory on the 15-yard line. Their starting field position so far tonight, their own 20, their own 24, and now their own 15. And this will be the last play of the first quarter. Be a pass. This one falls incomplete, and I have to eat my words there as not the last play of the first quarter, but good chance that this one might be as the 1st down pass incomplete for the Syracuse Bulldogs. That defense of the Plainville Cardinals has really been tight tonight. You got to be pleased with what we've seen so far. That defensive front looking really good up front with Mason Hogan up there. So we'll have twins to both sides of the quarterback here on 2nd down and 10. Rolling out right, looking for a man. He'll just dump it to his running back. And nowhere to go. It's going to be a loss about 5 yards. Nice tackle in the backfield as the clock's going to roll out here on the first quarter. And, man, what a flawless quarter it has been for the Plainville Cardinals. Of course, you might want to get that kick back, add 3 more points, or even add another touchdown for that offense. But, man, they're really looking good. Up 15-0 in full control of this one after 1. We'll step aside and be back as Syracuse still has the football. They'll be faced with a 3rd down and 15 from their own 15 when we come back. Back here in Plainville as we get ready for the second quarter. Plainville up 15-0, really in full control of this one over the visiting Syracuse Bulldogs. But tonight, a very special night. The last home game, of course, was homecoming. It was good to see everybody back and everybody having a good time supporting the Plainville Cardinals against the Oakley Plainsmen. But tonight, another special night, as tonight serves to be senior night as well as breast cancer awareness night for the seniors. And the Plainville Cardinal High School, they recognize seniors for all fall sports as well as band, vocal, and drama, football, cross country, volleyball, girls golf, and cheerleading, all recognized and honored tonight. For your football players, 5 of them tonight: Josiah Slothauer, Kyle Warner, Madden Staub, Cohen Kaiser, and Carter Selmer. Phenomenal job that these 5 guys have done throughout their careers here as Plainville Cardinals. For the senior golf squad, Emily Stamper, Maria Camargo, the 2 seniors for the girls golf team. A great year that Emily Stamper has put together. She's placed in every tournament so far this year. And the first play of the second quarter is a great one, an interception for that Plainville Cardinal defense. So just when you thought nothing could get better for the Plainville Cardinals, they get an interception, their first forced turnover tonight. A great job defensively, and yet again, great field position for the Cardinals. So A.J. Brown is back in at quarterback. Be Puckett up the middle on a fullback dive. Nice gain of a couple yards there on first down to start things off. Start it nice and easy, get the run game back and get it re-involved, as it was terrific in that first quarter. 2 rushing touchdowns for the Plainville Cardinal offense, and we'll see what they do here on 2nd down and 7. So we'll go back to our seniors and keep recognizing them after this play. But like we were saying, Emily Stamper has had a phenomenal year this year for the girls golf team, placing in every single meet and every single tournament. She just took 4th place, and the playoffs is coming up for her. So best of luck to the girls golf team, as Puckett's going to take this one in from 19 yards out. I don't see a yellow flag down. This one's going to stand true. Touchdown for the Plainville Cardinals, their 3rd of the night, and the 1st for Drayden Puckett, the freshman. Great job of keeping the feet moving right there by Drayden Puckett, just really navigating through that second level of the Syracuse defense. Takes it in, and the Plainville Cardinals are about to have a 22-point advantage here in the early going. PAT is up and good by the Plainville Cardinals, a 22-point lead. We'll keep it here and talk about our seniors for all the fall activities as Plainville's up. Nice commanding lead after the 19-yard touchdown from Drayden Puckett. The drive was 2 plays long. They started with great field position on the 22, a 3-yard gain on first down, and second down was a 19-yard run by Drayden Puckett. So back to our seniors. We just finished with girls golf, and now over to the cross-country team. Corey Samaglia, Michael Garvert, Cameron Lindsay, Taylor Rogers, Luke Voss, Isaac Westhusen, And then to senior volleyball, and the volleyball team has got a couple matches coming up. If you can, get on over to Victoria next week and check out the girls volleyball team, as the MCL tournament hosted here in Plainville is coming up next week as well. But Caden Spruso, Caxton Smith, putting together a great year so far in volleyball. For the senior cheerleaders, the one and only Janie Eilers, senior in drama, Abby Dick. The senior band members, Kobe Hayes, Athena Jameson, Corbin Marquez, seniors in vocal, Alyssa Dinkle, and Mikey Snyder. So to all of our seniors, hats off to the work that you've done and put in as a Plainville Cardinal. Your work doesn't go unnoticed, and that is what tonight is for, is recognizing those seniors that are moving on to great things, but they also did great things here at Plainville High School. So 22-0 advantage as we resume here. The kickoff was kind of muffed at the 15-yard line. The returner is able to catch his feet, recover the ball, and gain about 3 yards up to the 18, and that's where Syracuse will start their fourth drive of the evening.
Wallace on the tackle there for Plainville.
So 10:53 left to play here in this one, as both teams now will, after this drive for Syracuse, will have 4 drives. And so far for the Plainville Cardinals, their drives look like this: a 24-yard touchdown by A.J. Brown, a 5-yard touchdown by A.J. Brown. The third drive stalled, and they went for it. This one intercepted, and that's going to be taken back for a pick six. As I was just talking about how successful they've been, that adds the icing on the cake right there. They've already got 1 interception, make it 2, and this one is a pick six. Put a star next to it, and the Plainville Cardinals go up 28-0. I know that's going to issue some head scratching on the other side. There's really not a whole lot you can do if you're Coach Dwight Green. I know the guys faced with a 3.5-hour bus ride this afternoon to get here to Plainville, and things really not going their way here in the first half. There's still a whole lot of time to get the train on the right track, but it's going to take a huge comeback to get back into this one. If you're Coach Dwight Green, you definitely want to encourage your guys to, play the hardest that they can. You can't get these times back. High school football is a special thing, but trailing by 29 on the road in a chilly environment, and also one with a really good Plainville crowd for how cold it is, it's going to be tough to do. But we'll see what they make of it with their 5th drive after we come back with 10:46 left to go here in this first half. So the ball all teed up, and man, what a start it has been for the Plainville Cardinals. 2 interceptions, 1 being a pick six, and 3 rushing touchdowns. Drayden Puckett with 1 and A.J. Brown with 2. A short kickoff here, and the Syracuse Bulldogs, despite being only at the 33-yard line, are going to have their best starting fielding position of the night.
Takes it up to the 33-yard line for Bulldogs.
So the first play on this drive by the Syracuse Bulldogs, 2 wide receivers to the right. They throw it to the right. They had 4 wide receivers wide, 2 to either side of the quarterback, and dump it off right to for a short little screen. That one's going to be good for about 3 yards there.
Wilkerson on the tackle there for the
It's Wilkerson with a nice tackle there by the Plainville Cardinal defense.
for the Bulldogs.
Pinion going back to pass now. This one tipped, batted down, and a scary pass right there, as it could have been the 3rd interception thrown by the Syracuse Bulldogs tonight, but the offensive wide receiver doing a good job of becoming the defender there, trying to bat it down and get it out of the direction of the Plainville Cardinals, as the incompletion brings up 3rd down and 7. In a tough spot for the Syracuse Bulldogs. There's really been nowhere to go. The Plainville Cardinal defense has done phenomenal both at the defensive line and in the defensive backfield. And with 10:03 left to go here in this first half, we'll see what the Bulldogs do. They have 3 wide receivers to the short side of the field. Pinion will go back to pass. He'll dip it out to his running back, who makes 2 Cardinals miss and is driven out of bounds. Nice tackle there on that Syracuse sideline. 2 Cardinals in on the tackle were Jesse Wilkerson and Mason Hogan. And it's really beneficial when you have linemen like that can range out and make tackles and range from sideline to sideline, as that one stopped for no gain. And Syracuse is going to have to punt yet again. So on this drive, Syracuse gained 3 yards, but 3 quick plays and a punt, as the return team has been dangerous tonight, and it looks like it's going to be a good one. Already into Syracuse territory. There's room to go down that sideline. Carter Selmer is going to have another touchdown. Already an interception return for a touchdown, and now a punt return. But there will be a flag. Don't know if this one's going to come back. Was it after the touchdown already occurred? We'll have to wait and find out, but man, how about that? The wall was set up on the right side by that Plainville Cardinal return unit. They did a good job of getting all the Cardinals out of front of Carter Selmer, and all he had to do was take it down the sideline, a burst of speed. An impressive return there, but it will be confirmed a touchdown. It was a personal foul call on the Syracuse Bulldogs. Touchdown does stand, and that will add 6 more for the Plainville Cardinals. Man, how about that? Carter Selmer on the punt return for a touchdown just makes things even better for the Plainville Cardinals tonight. 35 and the 36 is about to be on the way. Man, how about that? It's been phenomenal, both offensively, defensively, and you throw special teams in there. The Plainville Cardinals are winning all 3 facets of the game tonight, no doubt about it. As we get a substitution here, another Bulldog will trot out onto the field. But with 9:42 left to play, the Plainville Cardinals up, we can say 36-0 as we await here. Might be 37. They're rolling right. This one's going to fall incomplete. It'll stay at 35, but you got to be pleased if you're a Plainville Cardinal fan tonight, whether you're watching at home or you're here at the stadium. It's been a great night. We'll see if it continues with 9:42 left to go in the half. Plainville up 35-0 over the Syracuse Bulldogs. We'll be right back with more Cardinal football from Cardinal Field right after this. So kind of a rare occurrence here, but after the personal foul call that was on the Plainville Cardinal touchdown, Plainville will kick off in Bulldog territory. A nice little pooch kick there. It'll be down at about the 11-yard line, but we have yet another penalty. This one will be in favor of the Syracuse Bulldogs and give them a little bit better field position.
Flag on the play. Face mask called against the Cardinals.
So it will be a face mask call on the Plainville Cardinals. You see the signal there by the white hat. The officials have really had their work cut out for them tonight. A lot of penalties on the field tonight, but they've caught a lot of them as well. With 9:40 left to go here in this first half, the Syracuse Bulldogs will start with their second best field position of the night. Their last drive was their best, starting on their own 33, but that was a 3-play punt, and right before that, an interception return for 6 for the Plainville Cardinals. So the 6th drive now so far for the Syracuse Bulldogs. Plainville has just had 4 after a pick 6 and a punt return for a touchdown. The offense has got a very long rest on the sideline. And I know that's something that Coach Grant Stevenson is going to be pleased about. You get your offense a chance to rest, get them a chance to stay warm. I know a lot of guys playing both ways tonight, though, so they're still involved in the game defensively, and they've done a tremendous job. But there is another flag here on first down. Well, they're going to pick up the flag, and no penalty it looks like, and it'll stay 2nd down and 10 after the first play. Well, actually, they'll mark off the yardage. It was a gain of 2. Tough to see on that sideline. But Syracuse now, a little bit of positive play there. Gaining 2, no penalty on the play. Be a quarterback keep up the middle, ranging over to the right side, but there will be a flag. There was a man in motion before the play, and it will probably be a legal shift or a false start on the offense. It will indeed be a false start and back the Bulldogs up now behind the chains, and they'll have to go with a 2nd down and 13, trailing by 35.
Quit getting penalties. You're stopping the clock.
So 2 running backs in the backfield, 3 wide receivers. The ball's on the turf. It's spinning around. Do the Cardinals have it? The ball is slick. The field is wet, and it looks like it's going to be Plainville Cardinal football. How about that? Another turnover, make it the 3rd for the Syracuse Bulldogs. Their first fumble of the night. They've thrown 2 interceptions, and now you throw a fumble in the mix, followed by great field position yet again for the Plainville Cardinals. Under 9 minutes left to go, and they're going to have a chance to be up by 40 or more going into the halftime break. So pass here, a little bit out of room. A.J. Brown was looking deep. It would have been a 28-yard bomb to the end zone. As Dayton Wallace was the intended receiver. We've seen him go deep already to Noah Brewster. That one was incomplete, as well as this one. But the pass game would be wide open right now as the Bulldogs trailing by 35. The defense really hasn't been on the same page all night long. They've given up numerous touchdowns and one as well. Gave up a touchdown on an interception return for a touchdown and a punt return. But the offense is looking good. Full steam ahead. Drayden Puckett, the fullback run up the middle. That'll be good enough to move the chains and be in between the 10 and 15-yard line. I believe they'll spot it right at the 15. So nice run of 13 yards there on second down by Drayden Puckett.
On that tackling there for Syracuse. First and 10 now from the 15-yard line for the Cardinals.
The offenses look like a well-oiled machine tonight for the Cardinals. They'll stay under center here. The quarterback's going to keep it. A.J. Brown has a nice fake to the fullback, Drayden Puckett. He scampers towards that left side for a gain of about 9 yards, be just shy of the first down. But still, regardless, the ball's going to be placed on the 6-yard line. And the Cardinals are really looking good here on this short drive. It'll be a timeout here with 8:14. We'll take it with them and be back with more second quarter action from Cardinal Field.
Hey Cardinal fans, this is Jared Casey, reminding you not to go anywhere because we've got more Plainville football right after this.
So as we resume out of the timeout, Plainville faced with a 2nd down and 2. It'll be a reverse here, easy walk-in touchdown for Madden Staub as the Plainville Cardinals will add to their lead, a 6-yard reverse to Madden Staub, who takes it in and adds to the Plainville lead. How about that? The offense firing on all cylinders tonight. A.J. Brown with 2 touchdowns, Drayden Puckett with a rushing touchdown. You throw in Carter Summers, 2 touchdowns, 1 a punt return, 1 a pick six, and now you throw Madden Staub into the mix. Everybody getting involved, and man, all smiles on that Plainville Cardinal sideline. So the PAT is through the uprights, and Plainville has extended their lead 42-0 over the visiting Syracuse Bulldogs. It's been really tough sledding for the Bulldogs, but I know Dwight Green's going to have a little moment with his team, get them back on the same page, and for maybe their last drive in this first half, see what they can make of it with 8:09 left to play here at Cardinal Stadium. We'll be back in just a moment right after this. So back on the bird's eye view, the Plainville Cardinals up 42-0. They've had 5 offensive drives. They look great on all 5. I tell you what, A.J. Brown with a 24-yard touchdown as well as a 5-yard touchdown. Drayden Puckett with a 19-yard touchdown. And just now, 6-yard touchdown by Madden Staub. They've also had a pick 6 return for a touchdown and a punt return for a touchdown. A short kick there, as if it was off the side. It looked like it was off the side of the foot of Braylon Biddle. And the Plainville Cardinals will get possession yet again. So we have a couple young Cardinals warming up on the sideline. We might see some substitutions after, having a hefty lead like this. It'll be great to get some younger guys involved for sure, get them some reps, get them that good experience. And, as a young football player and having a previous experience, that was always the best time. You're a young kid, wide-eyed. You want to be out there hanging out with your teammates, and what better time to do so than now, as Plainville up 42-0. The first play of the drive looks like a good one. His screen on the left side, still on his feet. It'll be good enough for a first down and a whole lot more. Play started at the 41-yard line, and it's going to go all the way up near the 10. As Aguilar was in on the stop for the Syracuse defense. But how about that play as Plainville started on the 41. Nice little short, simple screen pass to the left, and it worked out great. The offensive line did a phenomenal job blocking and paving the way for the receiver. It'll be a first down and 10 just outside of the 10-yard line. It'll be a first down and goal, actually, as they respot. Ball's on the ground, but Plainville is able to cover it back up. It'll be a loss of a couple yards in the backfield, but they'll keep it. There's still no turnovers for the Plainville Cardinals. That's been another positive that Coach Grant Stevenson will highlight.
Sorry, Liz.
It was, and no one's heard about it.
Except for you and Ray.
Just had to see it. No, I thought they were sleeping.
So second down and goal from looks to be the 12, almost 13-yard line for Plainville. This one will be a running back run out of the backfield and nowhere to go. Nice stop right there. Carter Selmer on the carry, but that Syracuse defense really standing stout. That defensive line looked great up front. Third and goal now, as Plainville really backed up here on the 16-yard line of Syracuse. We'll see what the offensive coordinator goes with here. Just under 6.5 left to go here in this first half. It'll be a quarterback run, fake it to the fullback, up the middle. He's still on his feet, into the end zone. Another touchdown, but this one might come back as we have another penalty flag and maybe an injured Bulldog, as that was going to be a 16-yard touchdown run by A.J. Brown. A penalty will go against the Plainville Cardinals and back them up even more. It won't be a loss of down, as it'll still be third down and goal. So the ball spotted on the 16 after the penalty. We'll still have third down here. A.J. Brown from the right hash. Same play. They'll fake it to the fullback. Full steam ahead.
A.J. Brown, quarterback keeper for about a 6-yard gain. Gonna bring up fourth and goal.
Be a good gain right there by A.J. Brown, but still
A.J. Rivas on the tackle.
Not able to punch it into the end zone for 6. They might elect to go for 3 as A.J. Brown scampers for 6 yards up the middle there on 3rd down. And I believe I see the kicking tee, and Braylon Biddle will try what will look like about a 34-yard attempt. Excuse me, just a 24-yard attempt. Kick had plenty of leg, and it's a good one as Braylon Biddle adds 3 more points. So a quick drive. The touchdown was negated by a penalty, but Braylon Biddle was able to take care of business and punch the kick through the uprights, add 3 more for the Plainville Cardinals. Up 45-0 over the Syracuse Bulldogs with 5.5 left to go here in this first half. We'll step aside one more time from Cardinal Field. So up 45, the Plainville Cardinals will kick it back off to the Syracuse Bulldogs, which will be their 7th possession tonight offensively. As this one, a beautiful kick right there.
Nice kick there for the Cardinals.
As Braylon Biddle just got done notching a 26-yard field goal. He sends this one past the goal line. It'll be a touchback, and the Syracuse Bulldogs will start with some decent field position, as when they take it out for a return, they haven't been blessed with a great field position at all tonight. So I definitely know they'll take the touchback there. Dwight Green's not frustrated that one was kicked all the way through the end zone. So the ball spotted on the 20-yard line after the touchback. 5:31 left to play here in this first half. As Pinion will throw out to the right side, a nice little out route by his receiver.
This pass is completed for about a 4-yard gain.
Call a gain of 4. Good pass right there. The intended receiver right there that made the catch was number 27, Michael Nairn. A nice catch right there on that sideline. He does get out of bounds to stop the clock. But a nice gain on 1st down for Syracuse. Another pass here by the Syracuse Bulldogs, but nowhere to go for Pinion, so he's going to tuck it and run right out of bounds and lose a handful of yards there on 2nd down. Another flag here, this one in the field of play, so it's not going to be a late hit, but it might be a holding. So the penalty yardage will be well enough for a 1st down for the Syracuse Bulldogs. Didn't really get any indication on what the penalty was, but So 2 running backs in the backfield, 2 wide receivers, 2 pinions left. 1 to the short side of the field. They'll fake it to the running back. Pinion will go right up the middle, but he's bottled up at the line of scrimmage. Plainville Cardinal defense really looking strong in this first half. Pitching a shutout so far. The defensive line has been phenomenal.
Bethel and Biddle on the tackle for the Cardinals.
Someone his size run into those two people.
Take this time real quick as Syracuse continues their drive to talk about the Class 1A rankings and how those are shaping up to be as we approach the playoffs. We're getting into the nitty-gritty of the season, but right now in Class 1A, no doubt or no question why Inman is the number 1. They are 5-0 right now. They play at Ellenwood next. They are 20. They beat Hutch Trinity 21-3 last week, and nice pass right there on second down. Drops it right in the breadbasket for the wide receiver as the receiver on the catch is Antonio Lopez, a freshman, making a nice catch along that sideline. He wasn't phased at all. The defense was right behind him. Makes a good catch in traffic and is able to pick up another yard for a gain of about 5 yards. Good job there by the Syracuse offense. But the other standings here in the top 5 of Class 1A, Olpe is the number 2. Keep in mind, Inman and Olpe played in the state championship game a season ago at Lewis Field Stadium down in Hayes. We might see a rematch this year, but at the 3 seed trying to make some noise is Centralia from Northeast Kansas. 5-0 right now. They won at Jackson Heights last week, 28-6. They play Garden Plain this week. St. Mary's Colgan is a powerhouse down from Pittsburgh, Kansas. They are 4-1 right now. They beat Northwest Arma last week. A shutout victory, 48-0. They play Columbus tonight, who is 1-4. Last but not least, at the 5 seed in Class 1A is the Troy Trojans. They've really had great teams over the last decade or two. Troy was a team that the Plainville Cardinals actually played in the state championship with Coach Grant Stevenson at the helm. The Trojans got the better of the Plainville Cardinals, beating them in that state championship game. But Troy this year, the 5th best team in Class 1A. They are 4-1. They beat Marhill Mount Academy last week, 76-16, a 60-point victory. And they play Jackson Heights tonight, who's a really good opponent, just outside of Holton, who's 3-2 right now. Some other teams to consider knocking on the door of that top 5 or some other good contenders for the playoffs. Hutchinson Trinity is 4-1. Jayhawk Lynn, who's really opening some eyes this year, they're 5-0. Jefferson County North, the Chargers always have a great program. They're 3-2. Pleasanton 3-1. Riverside 3-2. Smith Center 3-2, and Wabaunsee, who is 4-1. So the drive will stall here for the Syracuse Bulldogs. The Plainville Cardinals will get it one last time before the halftime break, and they'll do so with just under 2.5 minutes left to play. A good flippage of the field right there by the punter as Plainville will take over in their own territory. We'll take a quick break here on the Bird's Eye View. So 45-0 here with 2:27 left to go in the first half. The first play on this new set of downs on this Plainville Cardinal drive. Their 7th drive offensively of the evening is a no-gainer, actually a loss of about 2-3 yards for the Plainville Cardinal offense, but really no urgency to score here. Plainville probably just going to wind the clock out here, go into the halftime break, get cozy, get warm, get ready for the second half, as a lot of newbies and a lot of young guys probably going to get some good playing time in the second half. Motion from left to right here. It'll be a quarterback keeper as A.J. Brown fakes it. He's got the first down. Call it a gain about 17 yards there by A.J. Brown. Nice quarterback gain right there. Nice little sneak up the middle after faking a handoff in the backfield. And, man, A.J. Brown has really looked great running the football tonight. His passes have looked great, him and his wide receivers. A.J. must have spent a little bit too much time in the weight room this week, as both of his throws that he's had has just been out of reach for his intended receivers. But at least he's leading them, not throwing behind. He's showing some pretty good skills in the backfield. And, man, some good skills right there as Selmer makes 3 Bulldogs miss in the backfield, 1 miss at the line of scrimmage, and goes on that Syracuse sideline for a gain of about 13, move the chains for a first down, and all of a sudden Plainville's driving. Roy Aguilar on the tackle there, but back-to-back plays of positive yardage for Plainville. 2 plays, 13 yards. As we are at a minute left here in this first half, we'll see if the Plainville Cardinals choose to score. They're really scoring at will. It's up to them if they want to or not. Probably going to get 2 more plays here in this first half. So wide receivers to either side of A.J. Brown. He'll keep it again, but the defensive line does a good job. I believe that's number 67, Roy Aguilar, again on the tackle, as well as number 62, Edgar Hernandez, the junior for the Syracuse Bulldogs. And the Bulldogs might have to run 1 more play. So we see 1 Bulldog run in off the sideline. Number 15, Josh Sweet, checks in. The last play of the first half. Just be an easy quarterback. Keep up the middle to wind things out. A gain of about 3 yards by A.J. Brown, who's led this offense in a phenomenal way tonight. The Plainville Cardinals have looked phenomenal offensively, defensively, special teams, you name it. The only thing that's really kind of haunting them has been the penalties, but you can't really say that after being up 45-0 after the first half. Everything going in the way of the Cardinals tonight on senior night. And, man, if you've been watching, you've really caught a good one. The Plainville Cardinals in the hunt for their 2nd straight victory, their 2nd win of the season tonight, up 45-0 against the Syracuse Bulldogs. Before we take it to the halftime break, we'll just break down each team and their set of possessions that they've had tonight. So far for Plainville, that was their 7th possession right there. They probably were going to go on to score if they didn't run out of time. But instead, they run the clock out, do a good thing, and go into the halftime break up 45-0. Their other 6 possessions on offense. Now, keep in mind, they've had a couple scores where they didn't even have possession of the ball. They get a punt return for a touchdown, a pick 6 defensively. So there's 2 possessions really that you can't even count. But other than that, 7 possessions total. The other 6 look like this. A 26-yard field goal by Braylon Biddle that was knocked through the uprights. Great job there by Biddle. And Coach Grant Stevenson calling on the kick game. They did a phenomenal job getting the right personnel on the field. They ran it well, no penalties, 26-yarder, nothing but easy money for Braylon Biddle. The possession prior to that in the second quarter with 8:50 left in that first half, they started on Syracuse's 28-yard line. It was capped off by a 6-yard touchdown run by Madden Staub. Right before that, a punt return for a touchdown by Carter Selmer. The 4th offensive possession for Plainville on the night, a 19-yard touchdown by Drayden Puckett. And how about that? The freshman getting involved. Drayden Puckett wearing number 1 tonight. The 170-pound, 6-foot-tall freshman getting that touchdown. I know that had to feel good for him, especially in front of the hometown crowd. Played great last week against Ellis on the road, but now he gets to come back and do it in front of the hometown crowd as a freshman. Right before that, Syracuse threw an interception, which led to that Drayden Puckett touchdown. The second offensive possession tonight for Plainville was a 5-yard touchdown run by A.J. Brown, and the first one was the best way to start it. 24-yard touchdown run by A.J. Brown off the option play over on that Syracuse sideline. So that has been the scoring for the Plainville Cardinals, and no scoring so far, obviously, for the Syracuse Bulldogs. Their drives have looked like this. The first one, 3 plays punt. Great job by the defense of the Plainville Cardinals. The next one started with 4 minutes and 26 seconds left to go in the first quarter. 3 plays punt. After that, Syracuse started on their own 15, an interception on the first play. 4th drive, a pick 6 on the first play. Carter Selmer took it back to the house. Syracuse started on their own 18-yard line. a return of about 30 yards on the pick six by Carter Selmer. After that, Syracuse started on their own 31, got 2 yards on first down, a couple yards on second down, but stalled out, had to punt it back. That's when Carter Selmer took it back to the house. How about that? He was off to the races. There was nobody even close. A great return there by the punt return team. And their last drive for Syracuse ended in a punt. That drive started with 5:31 left to play in the first half. That has been your scoring summary and your drive summary by both teams. It's kind of been a whirlwind of a first half, and it's been all in favor of your Plainville Cardinals. You're watching Plainville Cardinal on the bird's eye view. As you see, 12 minutes left before the guys are back in action. Probably will have a running clock in the second half, so you folks at home, stay tight, stay warm for us. Luckily, the rain hasn't started falling tonight. Fingers crossed that it doesn't in the second half, but I think we're looking pretty clear. It's getting a little chilly, so we're going to warm up, take a break, and we'll be back for the start of the second half. You're listening to Jackson Webb on the Bird's Eye View. back here at Cardinal Field. Thank you so much for tuning back in on the Bird's Eye View. We hope you fans at home had a good halftime break. We had a good one up here in the booth as well. We were able to catch our breath, stay warm, got some good food in our stomachs, and we're ready to go for the second half as both teams got stretched and all ready for the second half kickoff, as the Syracuse Bulldogs elected to defer to the second half, so they will receive the kick here to start the second half of action. Plainville to kick off. We'll have a new kicker now for the Plainville Cardinals. So the clock's all reset. Everybody's lined up and ready. And a little bit of a wobbly kick taken at the 25-yard line. A good little return for the Syracuse Bulldogs, and they'll start with some good field position here on their first drive of the second half. In the first half, Syracuse was unable to get the ball rolling really at any point in that first half. They had a couple good flashes of some plays in the middle of a couple drives, but overall, you leave the first half with no points, only minimal first downs. But now you get some good field position on their own 35. They really had, where it all started, they really had bad field position that entire first half, starting, back in their own territory on every single drive, and at worst, their own 18 as a thunderous hit on the first play from scrimmage in the second half, as Pinion was just absolutely crushed in the middle of that Plainville Cardinal defense. The ball was popped free immediately, but there is a penalty flag down, and it will be a holding. Pinion was not down before losing the football. One play, one turnover, and just where the Plainville Cardinals left off, they'll pick back up here in the second half. They'll get the ball after one play, and, man, hats off to the defense. A vicious hit in the middle right there by the Plainville Cardinal D, and they get the ball back. So some new Cardinals in now, as a new quarterback doing a good job staying on his feet, made a couple Bulldogs miss, doing a good job not avoiding the contact. There is a flag on the play. It will be on the defense, as the new quarterback in the game, Zane Stahl, with a nice pickup there. Be a personal foul face mask call on Syracuse, as it happened at the end of the play as they were dragging Stahl down to the ground. A nice run there by the freshman backup quarterback. So Plainville started on the opposing Syracuse 37-yard line, a pickup of 3 yards by Zane Stahl, and then now the penalty has him all the way up to the 17 for the second play of the drive. First down and 10. Stahl will go right up the middle. Drayden Puckett with another carry, another good one. Trudging near a first down. We'll see where they mark it, but all in all, a good pickup there, as you got to be pleased with what you've seen from another freshman, Drayden Puckett, as freshman to freshman there, Zane Stahl under center, giving the handoff to Puckett. Well, after the 9.5-yard carry, be a very short second down and 1. Stahl really fits the scheme of this offense, too. Everything is kind of compacted in down tight. Stahl, kind of a smaller guy. He's able to hide his way behind that offensive line. And look at him go. On the left side, does Stahl break the plane? He does. Touchdown. Another freshman getting involved on the action. Zane Stahl this time. From 6 yards out, he takes it in for the score. And Plainville has now just broke upward of 50 points on the evening. So good choice there, as they're going to keep the kicker on the sideline, and it'll be a fullback dive to Drayden Puckett. They're on the ground. It's going to be no good, just shy of the goal line there.
But that will make your
But at the score 51-0 in favor of the Plainville Cardinals, and that'll bring a smile to a lot of people's faces, especially the Stahl family. The freshman Zane trudging over that goal line for a 6-yard touchdown run on the quarterback keep. A good option play right there by Zane Stahl, keeping him himself, and that will have us at 51-0 in favor of the Cardinals. The clock keeps moving as the Cardinals up well over the Syracuse Bulldogs. We'll step aside here from Plainville Cardinal football field and be back with some more Cardinal football right after this. Nice kick there by the Plainville Cardinal kickoff unit as the ball fielded at the 20-yard line. And a nice return, probably the best one of the evening for the Syracuse Bulldogs, is all the way up near the 33-yard line. A nice return, setting up good field position for Syracuse's second drive of this second half.
take over at the 35-yard line. First and 10.
Mark it at the 35, so a nice 15-yard return there by the Bulldogs. So first down pass play here over the middle, complete. Nice pitch and catch right there by the Bulldogs.
Pass completed to Kilo Mora for Syracuse. Taken down by Ben Reinhardt for the Cardinals. Bringing up 2nd and 6 now for Syracuse.
Second down, quarterback keeper up the middle. Pinion will have nowhere to go. It'll be a loss of about 3 yards. So after a nice gain of about 4 on first down, the Bulldogs being backed up by that stout Cardinal defense tonight. I'll call it a loss of 2, actually, and now a 3rd down and 8 as we approach 4 minutes left to go in this awfully fast-moving third quarter. Pinion is going to be dropped in the backfield, a sack, and how about that? Isaac Stamper with a nice tackle, a sack in the backfield. A nice play right there. The defense stands strong on 3rd down, and then probably another punt here by the Syracuse O. But, man, how about that? Number 30, Isaac Stamper, shot out of a cannon and twirled the ball carrier, the quarterback, down. So the punt is away. It's going near that Syracuse sideline. It will get past the 50-yard line They'll mark it out of bounds just shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. So we'll take another break here. You're watching Plainville Cardinal football on the Bird's Eye View. Cardinals up 51-0. Their last drive was a good one, 6-yard touchdown by Zane Stahl. We'll see what they can do with it here and later in the third part of the quarter.
Hey, Cardinal fans, this is your coach, Grant Stevenson. Thank you very much for supporting us on the Bird's Eye View Network.
Plainville High School football fans, this is Jared Casey. The Cardinals thank you for your support. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this broadcast on the Bird's Eye View Network.
After we resume after the timeout, Plainville football here with under 2.5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Timeout was taken by Syracuse as we pick back up with play. The Bulldogs. Sorry, I'll get it right this time. Third time's a charm. The Plainville Cardinals, with their first play of the drive, is good for about 4 yards. It's their second offensive possession of this second half so far. Syracuse so far on there is a first play fumble to start the second half. Not a good way to start. And then the last drive was 3 plays and punt. But for the Plainville Cardinals, 1 possession so far, 1 touchdown. That time it was Zane Stahl on the 6-yard quarterback keeper. A toss sweep there by the Plainville Cardinals. On the carry was number 13, Kane Fry. Under center here on 1st down and 10. Stahl, hand off to Puckett. He's going on that left side, and he's drugged down by a Bulldog. The tackler there, number 16 for Syracuse, that's Jose Brizuela. Second down and 7. This will probably be the last play of the third quarter here for the Plainville Cardinals. Motion from left to right. Stahl up the middle. It's going to be Puckett again on back-to-back plays. He keeps his feet moving. Good job there by Puckett on the second effort. He gets him a gain of about 4 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 3 to start the fourth quarter. As we head to the break, Plainville up 51-0 over the visiting Syracuse Bulldogs. It's been all Cardinals here tonight. You gotta, feel tough for the Syracuse Bulldogs. Travel all this way to get here, 3.5 hours on the bus, and it's going to be a tough ride home as they go into the fourth quarter trailing by 51. But now Coach Dwight Green and his squad are just playing freely. Nothing to stress over now. You can play and earn some confidence for next week. But we're going to take it to a break here as we are getting ready for this fourth quarter. in Plainville.
1-7-6.
So the first play of the fourth quarter will start for the Plainville Cardinals on the 35-yard line of the Syracuse Bulldogs. The third down carry was good for about 3 yards, but didn't think they were going to give them the first down, but it looks like on that far side they are moving the chain, so it will be a first down. So Plainville continues to move the chains here offensively, not only in the second half, but the entire game. They've had their way with the Syracuse Bulldog defense. Put up 51 points, you got to be doing something right, and Plainville tonight has done everything right, as a gain of 4 has the first down. Stahl keeps it himself. He's able to make a couple Bulldogs miss, make something out of nothing, and what looked like it was going to be a loss about 2, Stahl, the speedy freshman, turns it into a gain of about 5 yards. So this will be the 7th play of the drive for the Plainville Cardinals. All the plays have been positive thus far. Really looking good right now. Led by number 3, Zane Stahl. So another quarterback keeper by Stahl. Throws a nice stiff arm, but not enough to evade 3 Bulldogs, but a flag at the end of the play. It's probably going to be a face mask as Stahl was drugged down. It will be. So kind of the haunting mark tonight for the Bulldogs wasn't just their offense, not their defense, but the play. The cleanliness of play is just another penalty adds into that column for the Syracuse Bulldogs. They've really, really struggled tonight with penalties. But after that, the yardage gets marked off, and the Plainville Cardinals now have the football on what will be the 18-yard line, first down and 10. Stahl manning the offense. He hands off. A loss dropped in the backfield. That's number 30, Isaac Stamper, on the carry. It was kind of tough. The offensive line on that left side, there was a couple gaps in it, and those Bulldogs were able to hop right through those and drag Stamper down for a loss of about 6 yards. So the first negative play on this drive. But 7 plays in, 6 positive, 1 negative. Any day as a coach, I'm pretty sure you'll take that. So second down and 16 here. Stahl up the middle. Puckett, man, there was a nice hole for Puckett, and he keeps going. How about that? After the loss, Puckett almost gets the first down. They might have to take a measurement on this. We'll see. We just short, about a yard short. So a 15-yard gainer for Drayden Puckett. And, man, the future looks bright for the Plainville Cardinals. You have Zane Stahl, a freshman, Drayden Puckett, a freshman, Isaac Stamper, a sophomore, all in your backfield right now that you're using and getting good quality reps in the game. That's something that Plainville Cardinal fans should look forward to. Here's a keep on the right side, a handoff. Kane Fry on the carry, another sophomore there, 5'9", 150 pounds, and the Plainville Cardinals will move the chains yet again. So first down and goal. The ball spotted on the 5-yard line, inching in on 8 minutes left to play here. We'll have two wide receivers to the left of Stahl, and 3 running backs in the backfield. Motion from right to left, a toss sweep. They go to Stamper this time. He's able to make 2 guys miss. He's able to get about a yard or 2. It looked like there was a nice little crease for Stamper to run through, but that Bulldogs defense closed that gap quickly. Nice little toss sweep. The running lane's open. They're doing a good job of, having good variation in the play calling as an injured Bulldog trots to the sideline. Second down and goal from the 2 here is, we were just talking about the youth. As you see the freshman Stahl plunge it in for another touchdown, his second rushing touchdown on the night. This one, just a 2-yard gainer right up the middle, but all thanks to the lineman for paving the way. And something I definitely want to hit on, you talk about the youth on this team, not only at the skill position, but the linemen. How about that? Mason Hogan, an upperclassman, but just still a junior. You talk about, Tucker Rohr, a guy with good size, 5'5", 180 pounds, a sophomore. And then Riddick Bethel, been the starting center all year long. He's done a great job, 220 pounds, the freshman. This is going to be a really special group. Give them some time. Already putting together a really good year. Going to walk away with our second victory in back-to-back weeks here tonight, as the 2-point conversion is no good. Plainville up 57-0, but the future, not only the future of tonight's ball game, but the future for more Plainville Cardinal football games right here from Cardinal Field, it looks very promising. So we're going to step aside here as we approach 6 minutes left to go in this one. The clock continues to run. Plainville up 57-0. It's been all Cardinals. We'll step aside for a minute. Kickoff is away. It bounces at about the 23-yard line, taken by the quarterback for the Syracuse Bulldogs. That is Pinion, still on his feet. They can't get him down. They finally do, and it's going to be at the 27-yard line.
Stahl and Brewster on the tackle for Plainville.
Trying to check on a few more scores here from around the area. A couple that we've got that we reported on earlier is Smith Center now up their lead 48-0 against Republic County. A big matchup in Class 1A, a team from on the east side of the state, Troy. They're up 26-0 on Jackson Heights. Victoria up 30-28, a close one against Sharon Springs right now. Phillipsburg was up at halftime against the TMP Monarchs 7-0. We'll try and find another score on that one as Pinion with a nice carry there for the Syracuse Bulldogs.
Right-hand side for a nice gain. Brewster on the tackle for the Cardinals.
Opie, the third best team in Class 1A, up 28-0 over Caney Valley.
At the 37-yard line.
More than likely the last possession here for the Syracuse Bulldogs, trying to inch closer for a first down. Stop for no gain. And the defense doing a good job there by Isaac Stamper.
And Silas Litchell.
They will indeed move the chains for a Syracuse first down. It's a good positive to see over there. We'll talk about these two teams and what they have next week. Tonight, Syracuse was the team faced with a very, very lengthy road trip. Next week, the Plainville Cardinals will have to do the same. They'll hop on the bus and head down to Stanton County and take on the Trojans. Now, keep in mind, Syracuse is a team that beat Stanton County last week for their only win so far this season. They beat them 28-0, so things looking pretty good for the Plainville Cardinals next week against the Stanton County Trojans. It is a trek over there. So if you're going, you got to leave early. It's going to be a long bus ride over there, but it should be a good one as our Plainville Cardinals look great tonight. They should do the same next week, take care of business, and get what would be their third victory of the season. They finish the regular season up with Phillipsburg at Phillipsburg on October 21st. That one we will probably have broadcasted here on the Bird's Eye View. So if you don't plan on going up to Phillipsburg, don't sweat it. You'll be able to see it from the comfort of your home right here on YouTube. As Pinion scampers out of the pocket, and he's dropped for a sack. Another one. Isaac Stamper records his second sack of the evening. How about that? Some good defensive play all around, and now the young guys getting involved as Isaac Stamper does a great job. For the Syracuse Bulldogs, though, for their next game, Coach Dwight Green and his squad will play Oakley at home, so they'll be able to park the bus, keep it parked, and stay there as their last two games of the season will actually be at home against district opponents, the Oakley Plainsmen and the Ellis Railroaders. So here this will wind things out as Pinion will just quarterback keep it up the middle. Three Plainville Cardinals in on the tackle as we'll give credit to Isaac Stamper and number 50. That's Ben DeSere. And that'll put the icing on the cake on this one. Plainville will walk away with their second straight victory, back-to-back wins last week against the Ellis Railroaders, 30-25. Tonight in front of the hometown crowd on senior night. How about that? 57-0. A great showing by the Plainville Cardinals. A tough loss for the Syracuse Bulldogs, but look for them to bounce back next week against the Oakley Plainsmen. For you folks at home, some more football on the way for you folks at home this weekend. Tomorrow, get up, watch College Game Day on ESPN, live from Lawrence, Kansas. The Kansas Jayhawks taking on the TCU Horned Frogs. And then in the nightcapper at 6:30, the K-State Wildcats, led by head coach Chris Kleiman, they are playing on the road at Iowa State. The Cyclones up in Ames. That should be a good one. Look for that to be a fun one. Thank you so much to our camera crew tonight, Liz Stamper. She did a phenomenal job of running that camera. It was a chilly one tonight, but she did a great job. The fans, thank you so much for watching. And if you're at the game tonight and come back and watching later, thank you for supporting Cardinal football. It's always great to be a Cardinal, always great to get a victory as well. tonight. A good one for the boys, 57-0. The defense does their part. The offense does phenomenal. And also you get some guys that don't get a lot of playing time into the game tonight, get them some valuable experience, get them some valuable reps. But tonight, A.J. Brown with multiple touchdowns, Drayden Puckett with a touchdown, as well as Madden Staub had a touchdown. Carter Selmer with 2. Both of them not even coming on offense. One was a pick 6 on defense. One was a punt return for a touchdown. A 26-yard field goal by Braylon Biddle. And we have 2 touchdowns by backup quarterback, the freshman Zane Stahl, who will probably be the leader of this Plainville Cardinal squad in a couple years after A.J. Brown moves on and passes the torch on. But the quarterback position is going to be in good hands. A.J. Brown, phenomenal job tonight, and his counterpart, Zane Stahl, backing him up. The freshman, 115-pound, 5'4" freshman Zane Stahl, hats off to you, my man. Great job tonight. The entire Plainville Cardinal coaching staff, phenomenal job. Great job defensively. Great game plan for the Bulldogs. The offense did a great job of scoring, putting the ball in the end zone all night. And then also the kicking unit. Hats off to them as well. That's probably going to wrap it up here from Plainville Cardinal. From Cardinal Stadium here in Plainville, Kansas. Next week, like we said, the Plainville Cardinals on the road at Stanton County. That should be a good one. Thank you guys so much for supporting the Cardinals right here on the Bird's Eye View, as well as coming to the games and supporting them. Next week, Plainville Cardinal Volleyball, live from Victoria, as well as the MCL tournament. It's going to be a good one. You won't want to miss it. But to the rest of the Plainville Cardinal staff and the community, thank you for your support. Hats off to all of our staff members working tonight. Athletic Director Chris Dries does a phenomenal job of hosting games right here in Plainville. The stadium looked great tonight. The grounds crew did a phenomenal job working on the field. It was a tough night with the rain that happened that came through today, but the field was great tonight. Players great tonight. Fans great tonight. The Star Spangled Banner sung by the elementary school choir. Phenomenal job. The band as well, and all their efforts supporting the teams this year. It was a cold one tonight, but for the fans, thank you so much for supporting. Also to the principal, Mr. Krob, as well as Superintendent Miss Lisa Gehring. Thank you guys so much for making this broadcast possible on the Bird's Eye View. Mr. Winters, hats off to you, my man. Hope you're feeling good and feeling better. If you see him, be sure to make sure you're wishing him well. Coming back from surgery, and we can't wait to see his face again. To you folks at home, you guys have a very fun and blessed weekend. Stay warm, stay happy, and we'll see you in a couple weeks back here from Plainville Cardinal Stadium in Plainville, Kansas. As always, it's great to be a Cardinal.